The majority
Freedom that want power. You notice how he complained about the female villain and the power, and it's not big enough when you had this cool outfit. Like I'm saying, Ghost in the comic does not look that cute, that cool.
Cute? Why are you talking about how good pretty a
No,
character is?
I didn't.
You should be talking about the character's powers and abilities. It should not be looking at the sex and
I
what
didn't
they
say. I said that
cute
outfit is
cool.
cool.
Do you say Batman
I said
is cute?
cool.
Do you say Thor? No, you
I
said cute.
Cool. I didn't say cute. I said cool.
Do you see?
I said
Superman?
cool.
He said cute.
I did. I was about to say cute, but I said cool.
What, cool, cute, cool?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Like
that
a
broke.
cucumber.
Yeah, all right, I fell apart.
Okay, yeah. You see, me, I'm being objective.
No, he's not. He wants another Thanos. Thanos.
No. Welcome everybody, this is Spinner Rack. I'm here with my boy Petey. We're going to be reviewing Ant-Man. Cal ain't here, but he's here in spirit. All right, Cal, remember you, and this is for you.
It's like you're pouring out a little liquor or something.
So, Petey, what do you think about the movie? Other than you think it was...
I'm not going to go and say it's trash. So if you're in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you've watched every film and you need to see, this is the problem having an intersecting universe, because this movie, you have to go back to Civil War. Because I don't know if the Avengers movie really, I mean, they tried to hint that there was still a civil war going on as far as the heroes, but it didn't play well to me. You know, so when we got to this movie and they're still talking about Civil War and this, I mean, the part about Scott Lang being on house arrest was fine. You know, all right, they're playing that up. I just said maybe because I forgot that he stole, but then they started to play out that subplot. So otherwise, the action is nice. The villain is cool, is very cool. Lawrence Fishburne is good. Obviously, all the talent, and then even the
villain.
No, going to the beginning, the digital stuff with Michelle Pfeiffer early on, the flashback, that's a very nice scene. It's a great way to start.
It makes them look like, what, 30, 40 years?
Yeah, they could do a whole movie with that one. But at the same time, you know, as you move along, you have all these positives as far as having Marvel's first sort of really female superhero in a costume or a suit, a technological suit.
What about Black Widow?
No, Black Widow is more in the Emma Peel style. They tried to add little lights on her outfit in, I think, was it the Ultron movie?
But explain to people what Emma Peel style meals when.
Emma Peel is an agent. So the Black Widow originally looked like a widow. Like she had like a veil. It was like basically like she was this Russian sort of, and no, she was like an arms person, but but it was more like playing up the widow part. Like actually having the veil and the hat and the elegant dress sort of thing. And then later they updated her and she got an agent, like a not, it wasn't necessarily a Russian agent, but more like what was the Avengers. There's the British Avengers that had Emma Peel and her outfit, John Romita Jr. looked like her cat, it was like cat suit, that sort of thing. So it was playing up like a James Bond sort of female agent type thing, even though it's from Russia. So I understand people saying, and I want a Black Widow movie, and she's been the mainstay in a lot of these movies, especially helped out.
Green lighted the movie already. It looks like it, so it's finally coming through.
I just take nothing away from her, but at the same time, we haven't had something visually as dynamic as Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, as far as a female superhero. The closest we're going to get will be
Brie Larson.
It will be Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. But at the same time, you have Scarlet Witch, and then people go into, you don't have to do exactly the outfit from the comics. You just have to make the outfit she has a little more flashy. And this Wasp outfit works, you know. But the only thing is marred down in all this continuity is almost like the Chains of Marley's Ghost, talking about all the stuff from Civil War and them having this issue with Scott because he stole the outfit and all this stuff. And you know, if you get past that stuff, then you get to the Ghost, which is a very minor villain. Was in the comics is extremely minor villain, and they made it like a very dynamic villain. It could have been stronger, and I think to say there's just some sort of glue that's missing in this thing. So it sort of just seems like a sequel to, like sort of comedy sequel to Civil War. And that's the only thing I can say for it. I can say you want to go and you might want to see all of the effects and them going to Subatomica. They could have done more with that, but they do go down. There's more stuff that's in the trailer, but it's just missing one piece. And I think playing up the continuity kind of hurt this movie in comparison to the other one. It seemed like it was a story. Scott Lang meets, Hank Pym and his daughter. They, work together and something like that. So this is starting over doing the same movie, but then we have Wasp come in and she's making this arms deal, and the arms deal doesn't go the right way, and she just decides to beat everybody up. There's a difference in the arms deal and the person saying, I want to take everything. After they said, I want to take everything, she didn't beat up everybody. She didn't even let them swing first. She was just like, I've been waiting to kick everybody's behind. And that's, it gives you introduction, but they're doing an arms deal. So it's something less heroic for Hope and Hank Pym. But when we get to the last, this is ridiculous to say, the last 15 minutes, I was all in.
But okay, I think I'm on the opposite end on that. So here.
You didn't like the last 15 minutes?
So when we basically set up, when we come into this story right now, Scott Lang, he has been under house arrest.
Yes.
Because, and I think 2 years, you said?
Yes,
he's been under house arrest for a while because of his actions in Civil War. He didn't register or whatever, and so he got probation. He was already a criminal already to begin with, so he's at home and he's hanging out with his daughter and stuff like that. What happens is that his
and the stuff with the daughter was very good.
Yeah, the daughter was very good. So Pym basically is he realizes that his wife may still be alive, and so he's trying to go subatomic, basically.
Yeah, he's been secretly doing that.
And when he's been working on that for a while, it seems that Scott is somehow connected to it. So once he sets up a machine to go into it, he automatically just brings them in to it reminds him of the where he was before in the first movie. So you have to kind of see the first movie to help. It helps to set up what happens in this movie. This is not a movie that you can just come in blind from, right?
It's almost like, say, Star Trek 3, right? Because they had this thing where there's a connection between these two characters, but they didn't really set it up. So it's basically you watch that movie, you watch Ant-Man, and then you watch Civil War, and then you come back here.
But Civil War isn't huge. They just hinted at it, and it just
No, the thing is about the whole movie about him stealing the outfit, and I don't even remember that he stole the outfit.
He didn't steal the outfit. It's just that when he got caught, he never gave back the outfit. Okay, so this is some spoilers. So that's the problem. So they said that
he stole it. They had issue with him taking it, and then them having to be on the run.
They having to be on the run. Yes, he took the outfit to go there to help out Cap and them while there. Look, the point is, I don't think that's a problem. I think that whole
that's a big problem.
No, it's not a problem. There are bigger problems.
There's other problems besides that.
Huge problems.
Instead of them talking about Civil War stuff.
The Civil War stuff is minor. The big problem in this show, and I like Paul Rudd. I like the actors in the show because they're all high caliber actors. The problem is the villain.
No, the problem is the jokes.
No, the problem is the villain. The
villain is cool.
The villain sucks. It's not even a villain. So
it is a villain.
As usual, this is.
You see the outfit? How cool the effects?
It's cool,
doing all the cool vision stuff.
But a villain needs to be doing villain things.
She was.
She did a couple of villain things, but the question is, what's the motivation behind the villain? And when you find out, you're like, this sucks. All right.
It does. No, this is like you're being. This is you're
such
saying that your problem is that the villain wasn't bigger. You're saying that the Ghost character isn't a big character, and you're like, I came into it. Ghost was kicking ass. They couldn't. The way the powers worked, they couldn't fight against Ghost. So the Ghost had an edge. So they had to do things.
Had an edge, but it just when you find out the reason for all this, and I don't want to spoil it to you, you're not going to be. If you remember Iron Man, was it Iron Man 2 with the Mandarin? Okay, how disappointing that was.
It's not like this.
It's going to be just as disappointing.
It's not like that. Don't even buy it. That's the only. He's just saying for him, it's not Thanos. It's not Thanos. I keep saying this. I keep saying it like you say it. It's not Thanos. It's not It is Killmonger. It's the same as Killmonger.
It's Killmonger with no reason.
Yes,
Killmonger has a reason, a very good reason, and he deserves what he does.
No, there wasn't. Wasn't even though the character that is her father, her actual father, is not hinted at what his history is. He's doing something. What happens causes. I mean, that's the thing. If she has to accept that her father did, this is something that someone would have a hard time accepting, that her father did this to her. Right. So they're taking out, it's someone misdirecting their pain, and they did that in Daredevil's second season with the Punisher, where the Punisher couldn't face dealing with his superior, so he was taking out all of his aggression on the criminals. And that's a powerful part of the story, because the character that they're based on is a real character, and the villain in, not the ghost, but her father. So it's based on a villain, like Hank Pym's biggest villain. So you can, I mean, if you want a bigger villain, I mean, that's his angle. Otherwise, he's coming and say the villain is...
The story needs to have a villain the villain can be a weak villain, but it has to have...
It's not a weak villain.
Look, all I'm just saying is...
If she does the Vision thing and touches Captain America in the chest, what can he do?
He can't do anything.
That's right. What does he do at the Iron Man?
The villain doesn't act as a villain. She acts. She has all this power, and she uses the power as if she's a henchman.
She's stealing the stuff.
She doesn't use the power for what power is supposed to be. I mean, what's the point?
All right, so I think we're done. We got a power-hungry person here that wants power-hungry, and I'm saying I want a soul to the movie. I don't want to see you hit all your marks, your Marvel movie marks of your jokes. And I'm saying the audience laughed at all of the jokes. I didn't laugh at any of the jokes.
I kind of agree with you with that. The audience that I was with was not laughing at many of the jokes.
I wasn't laughing. The audience was laughing.
The audience I was with was like, they came out of the movie. Look, the last, I don't want to say where, but the end of the movie, they were like, I was totally stunned. Totally, completely.
No, you're talking about the post-credit scene.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about that.
At the very end of the movie, people were like, "That's it." It's like, okay, that was all that was going on. It was a flat ending. At the end.
Wasn't a flat ending. Okay. They have the whole quantum tunnel. They had Subatomica. They had the whole sequence of Hank Pym coming back with Janet Van Dyne and the possibility of them not making it through, and then Ghost and Larry Fishburne.
Yeah, they had all that stuff, but it wasn't,
the soul, I think,
they made the whole Subatomica a much bigger thing. So his wife is caught in Subatomica for how long? The quantum field realm, I think, so not Subatomica.
It is Subatomica.
Okay, Subatomica, but they were caught out there for
They kept calling it because it connects to the theory of everything, quantum gravity, that stuff, whatever.
And she's basically there by herself. That's what I'm trying to say. It didn't connect enough.
Because they didn't have any more money to have the whole people in the Psycho Man and all this other stuff that's in there.
But at least there's something else there instead of her just coming back.
They had some organisms there that she survived. The whole point is him connecting
she survived
with
by herself for how long? No, I don't think
she did. Why wouldn't she? She has a suit. And she had makeshift weapons.
She had makeshift.
And she's also a scientist. She's just like Hank Pym. She's a Marvel scientist.
And I'm not disagreeing
with
that.
Movie.
But I'm saying
in the movie, she's a Marvel scientist.
Just think about this.
She would survive. She would, just like Hank Pym, would find a way to survive, as he has when he's been stuck at a small rate, and he's stuck and finds these new,
She's been there for what, 30 years?
What is it?
Didn't lose her mind. She's perfectly fine. She was able to find materials to survive.
Yes,
in a realm that they have to put a mask on, and yet
she didn't have the mask on when they met.
She had the mask.
No, she had it off. She was walking around with the stick or the bow and arrow thing, and she was like, "Hey, he takes the mask off. They connect. They get in the ship.
They get in the ship.
Lord, mercy.
I don't know.
He's like saying, "This is like, all right, this is what happens."
Quantum.
So that's what I'm saying. He got one person who's saying, "Hey, I need the villain to kill everybody and be like powerful." Looking powerful and having some 20 feet bigger than the villain. No. You want to Stan Lee.
The villain has to be. You can't have a hero and have a weak villain.
It's not a weak villain. They can't. She has a power that they can't fight. So they have to use.
But the villain is not using it to like.
Yes, they are. They're keeping them. You want to. What are they? You're not saying I'll need you. I
don't want to specify because I don't want to break anybody's thing.
Please.
All I'm just saying.
All right. We tried.
So my two big issues is that and the subatomic or the quantum area that they're in. Didn't like it. So if you can get over those two huge hurdles, then you know what? This movie is for you.
He hasn't said issue with story, just saying
The story-
this
I didn't have much
area I want done better.
Okay.
I want the villain to be more in line with what I've seen in these other movies.
Yeah, more in line with other
he's
villains.
just sexist, and I said it. Female villain, you can't. It has to be somehow. I don't know. I don't know what you wanted. Basically, I'm saying when
they're trying to say Marvel is sexist because the way that they affected the female villain is extremely different to all the other villains.
The villain was the same as Killmonger.
No,
she had
she
some.
was not.
No,
She
the thing,
had kick-ass power.
Killmonger didn't have any. There's nothing logical to what Killmonger did. There's nothing logical to what he did.
100% motivation.
There's no motivation.
He was a royal.
He was not. He's a traitor.
No, he was a royal
Traitor.
blood, and he had the right to fight.
He is a traitor. He doesn't have a right. No.
Yes.
They said at the time. They say, "Does anyone at this time?"
Right.
Knowing that he wasn't there at the time.
But they didn't know he existed.
That doesn't mean that the rules change.
Well, the rules allowed in the movie rule.
No, there was no rule. Black Panther decides to let it go.
Well, hey,
that's what happens.
He's not the brightest bulb then.
Maybe so, but I'm saying to you that if you can't go to Killmonger and say this is a logical villain.
He's
can't say
far
none.
more logical
No, he's
than
not.
Okay, look.
How is he? He's not logical at all.
Right,
He's not. The thing is that his father. His father was not only
the brother
caused
of the king.
His father, the brother of the king, caused an attack on Wakanda. Right. Stealing the nation's natural resource. What? And not to help everyone out there. He was basically, they were trying to say that he's like a militant, but at the same time, what militant goes and lets some white dude come attack Africa?
He was just using him, bro.
No, the Claw was using him, and other ones, his father's a dummy.
They were using each
other. So the
other.
thing is, when you realize that your father was not all that he cracked up to be, right? He's not.
They had different
That's the logic. That's the logic. So we trailed off so far.
Yes, we've trailed off. So after watching this movie, Petey, do you recommend people go and watch it? Pay their hard-earned money to go out to the movie theater and pay it, or do you just wait till it comes out on video?
It's a wait to video thing. It's more in line of watching. You're at home and you're saying, I'm watching Civil War, I watched the first Ant-Man, let me watch this. Because then you'll be in line to say, I watched these movies, and then you're like, oh, I can see how these two things work together.
Right, so
not 2 years later when we're talking about Civil War, because I think the weakest part of the Avengers movie is trying to connect Civil War and
no.
It didn't amount to anything.
Civil War was, I think it was okay. I don't think you're
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying connecting the Civil War.
The connection was not a problem.
It was not good.
It was not a problem.
You saying what? You're saying that when Captain America comes to the place and they just wipe away the other guys, what effect did it have on this movie? That Captain America has just been in hiding. What's the name? Vision and what's the name? They've been in hiding in France or wherever they are at, and the next thing you know, the Vision is like, no, you stay. I'm gonna go back and get caught and killed. Like, come on, it was the weakest part. There's nothing in Civil War helped saying that these at some point at the end, that's gonna be the end of the next movie, that the heroes get reinstated. You know, we're reinstated. Like, what? Who remembers?
Look, one of the good parts about the movie is the very end. I mean, it's gonna blow you away.
Why doesn't Iron Man say, sorry, we can't fight against these monsters in the Avengers movie because it's Civil War? You're not, listen, Dr. Strange, you're not licensed.
What are you talking about?
Hulk, you are not licensed. None of you guys are licensed to fight, right? That's what we're saying?
The Sokovia Accords, yeah.
So then, it doesn't make sense to have a movie where Spider-Man signed up so he can fight, and Iron Man can fight. Doctor Strange can't fight, Hulk can't fight. Hulk can't get into the armor. It's legally wrong to do it. Yeah. But Iron Man was on the side of that for some strange reason, and now they can. Now we're going to a movie where Ant-Man can't do it because he's the only one who paid, who had to stay in there because he's a prior criminal or something like that. So he had to do this 2 years of house arrest or whatever. I can't believe it's 2 years. They're trying to, It seems like it's
But
yesterday.
it's from the Civil War time period to now, so it kind of makes sense.
Come on, it does not make any sense.
Oh my goodness! All right, so we're gonna have to agree to disagree. I say wait till it comes out on video.
And we both said that. I was just saying that the reasons why he's saying you're not seeing is that there's a cool villain in there, which
Cool
I say
villain.
you should see, and that's the part he doesn't like. And then he's like, the other part he's saying
the
is
quantum,
that the quantum thing, he wanted it to somehow develop, like going to some Star Wars realm when you're out of money. They've been showing the tunnel.
Doesn't matter
They've been
whether
showing
you
the
have money.
tunnel
If
and
you're a
lights.
good storyteller, you tell a story. They talked about this quantum realm, all this stuff, and all you basically do is just going through like a jelly world place, and they see a little jelly monster. Who cares? It doesn't intrigue me at all.
Yeah,
Wasn't
I mean,
interested in
that
it.
point you
I'm
could
just
say
saying-
you could say
I'm
that was
saying
that. But I'm
if
just
it-
saying
I
that
was- they
that's
were-
not
they were
that's not
bigging it up.
story.
They were bigging it up, and the thought was that there was something more. There's something there. And if they brought back Janet Van Dyne, that she survived because she had to go through struggles. Yes, she went through these, but there was probably something intelligent and probably something that she brings back, or something that sets up the third movie.
She has
You
all
don't
the she
feel
has
that.
powers.
You don't feel
She
that.
fixed the what's her name
Got
shit.
it, but it doesn't. It doesn't.
No, she
feel the
did
shit.
bring. You said she didn't bring anything back. She brought herself back with.
She
powers.
brought back a greater evil or a greater power or something.
didn't
that
bring
had
back any
Or that she
evil?
had to compromise to make it there. Something along those
She
lines.
didn't
She didn't compromise. So
He
look,
didn't watch.
we
This,
agree.
I don't know what movie he watched.
I was watching and I was not happy about it. All right. Look. It wasn't a bad movie. Let's put this in context. Marvel movies hit all their marks, and it's not. Negative.
When I say hit their marks, I don't mean that in a good way.
I'm saying they hit all their marks. So are you going to be entertained? Yeah, you're going to be generally entertained. The question is whether it's enough for you to go out and go pay at the movie theater, or is it enough for you to just wait till it comes? I say wait and catch it with the other movies.
We
and
agree on
price.
that.
Okay.
But the whole thing
This is
that
like the Supreme Court, right? When the
Go-
Supreme Court, they have the majority opinion and they have the minority opinion.
and we know that
Minority
we
opinion is
have.
going to be, and I'm the majority opinion.
He's the minority with the Trump stuff, so that's the That's the majority that you have to struggle with,
Okay.
and they're taking away your freedoms.
The majority.
Freedom that
vote.
want power. You notice how he complained about the female villain and the power, and it's not big enough when you had this cool outfit. Like I'm saying, Ghost in the comic does not look that cute, that cool.
Cute. Why are you talking about how good a pretty a
No,
character is?
I
You
didn't-
you should be talking about the characters' powers and abilities. It should not be looking at the sex and.
I
what
didn't
they
say.
look
I
like.
said that
Cute.
outfit is
Did you
cool.
say Batman
I
is
said
cute?
cool.
Did you say Thor? No, you
I
said cute.
Cool. I didn't say
Do you
cute.
say-
I
do
said
you see-
cool.
do you see?
I said
Superman?
cool.
He said cute.
I did. I was about to say cute,
Well-
but I said cool.
What cool, cute, cool?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Like
That
what,
broke.
cucumber
Yeah, all right,
cool?
I
Yeah.
fell apart.
Okay, yeah. You see, me, I'm being objective.
No, he's not. He wants another Thanos.
Probably
Thanos.
No, I gotta say the Wasp. I like the Wasp. I did like that fight scene, but you
No,
didn't like. That
I
fight
like
scene
the
was
fight scenes. I don't like why she was fighting. It's an arms deal. An arms deal going bad when you're dealing with these suspect people that kept coming back, that kept causing more trouble. You don't, it's like the scene in Back to the Future. I didn't like when she's like, oh, I got this money from these terrorists or these drug
Right.
dealers. I was like,
I thought it was
what?
great.
No, it's not great.
It's a great thing.
They got this plutonium from these guys. It's
Yeah.
just like, what?
And it sets up how he ends up dying in the film. How
No, that's the
Great
weakest
movie.
part. I like
Gotta
the
watch it.
movie,
We
but it's
love
just like
that.
he's a mad scientist now. Then we go to these guys and like, oh, they're dealing with some arms dealers. Like, I want to use this technology. We need to know where the lab is. I think if we had it where it says Ant-Man and Wasp, where we had them in action, and it ends with him getting the boot off of his foot and start the movie running. That's where we go. You get your subatomica, you spend some time there. You don't spend. They tried to go call back to the talking. I mean, there's a funny scene with the true serum, but otherwise, I don't think they had the. I don't really need it. I didn't really need it, but
The only other element other than Subatomica that I think was the comedy. I think they could have done a bit more. We have some great people in there. That whole story. What's the name of that character? His partner.
yeah,
that
guy.
he-
Good old what's his name?
I just read his name just a couple minutes.
Good old what's his name? And the other problem was the freaking large ants. All those large ants sucked. They sucked.